Hi there, I'm Emma Walker, one half of the VA Success Group, and what I want to quickly share with you today in this video is a little bit about my background and why I started my own VA business back in 2005, because both Justine and myself, we do often get asked about, what was the reason and why we do and what we are today. So what I wanted to do is just answer some of those common questions that we get asked regularly by aspiring virtual assistants, just to share the answers with you. So the first question that I always get asked is, bear with me, I've got my sheet so I don't forget any questions, why did you start the business in the first place? And basically back in 2005, it seems a lifetime ago, I was working as an office manager and PA for a company, and everything was fine. We'd set up the business, we'd set up the office, the systems, everything like that. But then all of a sudden it turned into basically the job from hell. I was working for a bully boss. It was one of these alpha females that you might see and hear about, one of these that think they have to act like the men to make it, which, fine, each to their own, but it got to the point where I literally dreaded going into the office every single day. The day, how it went and what went on in the office would literally depend on what mood the boss was in, what side of the bed she got out of that morning, if she'd had a bad day the previous day. She thought nothing of shouting at you, swearing at you, demeaning you in front of you, to your face, but also behind your back, to anybody. She didn't care. And basically it came to a head one day. I can remember it clearly. She came into the office one morning, absolutely screamed the office down in front of my colleagues, everybody else in there, and having a right go because she'd gone, she had the wrong directions basically to a meeting she went to the night before. And so I checked her paperwork that I'd sorted out for her. It was detailed information about the meeting itself. There was detailed directions, these things that you print out of from like the AA or RIC, so there's those in there. And it turned out that instead of following the detailed instructions, one of the directions said turn left, she turned right. And no, it was all my fault, and I thought, you know what, I can't carry on like this anymore, I've had enough. And I'd been sort of looking for another job, obviously, whilst I'd been unhappy, but I was just a little bit worried that I was going from one bad situation to another. And when I was looking for another job, I don't know how it happened, it's always the way, but I came across the term of virtual assistant. And I thought, do you know what, this could be ideal, because I'd always wanted to run my own business, but I didn't have anything I could do. I couldn't make anything. I didn't have anything that I could sell. And I just thought, you know what, I have got something to sell, because I've got 10 plus years experience. Why not work for myself and work with great clients instead of this bully boss? So I decided that was it, and left my job, started the business, and been doing it ever since. Love it. Wish I'd done it sooner, but I'll be forever thankful to her and the company, because it did give me that motivation to leave and actually start on my own. It gave me the skills and experience of setting up the new business from scratch, so obviously I could take that into my VA business. But also it taught me a lot about how to treat people, how not to treat people, how to do things, how to run things. So I did take a lot of valuable lessons from them, so in one respect I am forever grateful. So that is why I started the business, basically for a bully boss. But what happened as well is literally within about 5-6 months of starting the business, I fell pregnant with my daughter. So it was great timing, because I could obviously filter everything around my pregnancy and my daughter. So it was great timing. The second question I get asked a lot is, what do I actually like best about being a virtual assistant? There's a few things, obviously, but the first one is the fact that I can be totally flexible with my schedule, so I can fit in around my daughter. You know, when she was a baby, if she was ill or had to have injections or anything like that, I could, you know, change my schedule to accommodate that. You know, I only work with fantastic clients who totally understand that I do work around my daughter and my growing family, because I'm pregnant at the moment with my second child. So it does mean that I can take her to school, I can do the school events, but then I'm in the office and I'm doing the work as well, and I'm working with clients that I love. You know, it doesn't feel like work, it's fantastic. Another thing that I really like is the fact that the variety of tasks that I get to do, from doing my clients' work and obviously, you know, doing my own business work as well, means that no 2 days are the same. You know, it is that cliche, but no 2 days are the same. You know, I could be doing intensive work with one client one day, and the next day it's for somebody else, mixing in with my own marketing, plus VA Success Group work, etc. So it is a challenge to fit it all in, but it'd be a bit boring if it wasn't so challenging. You know, if I had too much time on my hands, I'd be bored out of my brains. So I do love that aspect. I love being busy, and I love that being challenged. The third question that I get asked is, how did you get your first client? Very simple, networking. I went along to a breakfast networking event, because obviously I was, it was just after I started the business a couple of months, so I wasn't pregnant, I didn't have my daughter. So I went to, you know, breakfast, lunch, evening networking events, and just got to know people, educated them about what I could do, how I could help them. And my first client actually came from one of those breakfast groups. They were, or they are, an executive search company, so headhunters, for the property industry, and I do all their admin, so whether it's formatting their CVs to a specific template so they can send them off to the potential employers, etc., from, you know, invoicing and general, you know, diary management and admin work. And, you know, that was literally from day one in the business back in 2005, and I'm still working with them now. You know, they are obviously my longest term client, but that is a headhunter, and that was via networking. And I always recommend that new virtual assistants and existing ones make use of networking to promote their business and get clients. The fourth question I've got is, how do I fit running the business around my family? Okay, well basically, now that my daughter has come along, I simply don't do breakfast networking events. They don't work for me. You know, they don't fit in at all around the school run or anything like that, so I don't do them. I make use of like online networking, social media, things like that. But how I fit the business around her is that all of my time in my diary is scheduled, so all of her you know, commitments are in there, so whether it's the school run, any school events, anything like that, any personal appointments, it's in my diary. Then I know exactly what time I have available to do the client work, my own business administration, invoicing, marketing, things like that. And I literally schedule it all in. So I know what I'm doing every single day, and it's clear, so I'm not going to mix up any business appointments or personal appointments. There's no clashes. I make sure that I schedule everything, and then I can tell my clients, no, I'm not going to be able to do that today, that'll be tomorrow, or yes, I managed to get that done for you today, whatever it may be. And I try and plan as far in advance as possible, so that I am organised and I know what I'm doing and it's not overwhelming, because otherwise so as I say, I plan, and it works for me. Okay. The fifth question is, how has my business developed since I first started? Okay, basically, when I first started, I was, I suppose, what you call a traditional VA, offering very general admin services. Obviously, you know, from diary management, email management, liaising with clients, letters, everything like that, your general stuff. So that's what I first started doing. And then as I started getting more clients, I started teaching myself new skills, using new tools, etc. So that it transformed into something more technical. So I was managing people's online businesses for them, you know, doing shopping carts, helping them develop products, newsletters, everything like that. And then it's sort of gone to the next level, that I am more of a business manager. So this is high level support, this is more strategy, overseeing other people to do the work, managing the projects for them, not necessarily doing the day-to-day work, but actually helping, as I say, project manage everything and making sure that the work gets implemented, and, you know, looking to the future and helping them to think up new products and, you know, design them, sell them, market them. And as I say, I only work with a select number of clients on like a VIP level, because the type of support I'm doing is, it's so high level that I can't possibly work with more than a few people. You know, I can't work with 20 clients, for example, because I can't possibly do it. You know, there's only so many hours in the day, there's only so much space, I suppose, in my own brain to be able to provide that level of service. So that's how my business has developed. And obviously everybody else is different. Justine will have a slightly different story for you. You know, make sure you do check out her video of why she started up and, you know, how her business has developed. The sixth question I get a lot is, this is a biggie, I suppose, is what skills and experience do I think people should have before starting a VA business? Okay, I'm going to be a little bit controversial in some respects and go against what a lot of other people think. I personally don't believe that anybody has the right to dictate what skills or experience you have to have before starting a business as a virtual assistant. You know, there's a lot of people out there who say, you know, you must have a minimum of 5 years PA experience, this, that and the other, which fine, you know, they're entitled to their opinion. But my way of thinking is that not every fantastic virtual assistant out there has to come from that PA background. Justine was never a PA, and she runs a very successful virtual assistant business that has expanded by creating licenses because it's that successful. I know a lot of the really successful people out there were never PAs. So to say that you have to have that experience doesn't really ring true to me. As long as you've got, you know, great communication skills, you know, because obviously you're dealing with lots of different people, you need to be able to communicate your message clearly, whether it's clients or through your marketing. You need to be organised, because you're going to be working with multiple clients. You need to know what you're doing, plus you're running your own business. A desire to succeed, because obviously you want your business to be successful. You want it to be profitable. You know, you don't want to just be doing a hobby. It's got to pay the bills and more. But as long as you've got the attitude that you will do whatever it takes to succeed, that's all that matters. You know, you don't need to be the PA to do that. it's that attitude, you know, and those skills that are really essential to help you run a successful business. So please, you know, if you want a PA or an office manager or an admin background, a traditional admin background, don't think, oh no, I can't possibly do it, you know, people are saying I can't. If you believe you can do it, do it. You know, as long as you've got those skills and you're determined to succeed, what's stopping you? Okay? Get off my soapbox now. The next question I always get asked is, comes down to the money. How do I actually charge in my business? When I first started, back in 2005, I did, you know, what most people do, the pay-as-you-go model, so to speak, and the pay monthly, which is fine, that's a great place to start. But as my business has developed and I've learned a few lessons along the way, I only work with people on a regular basis. I've created a package of my services, so instead of sort of charging by the hour, I have this package that they can buy, and every single one of my clients pay me in advance. Okay, this helps enormously with cash flow. So as I say, they pay in advance, it's a regular basis, and it's not charging by the hour, so to speak. It is having those packages, and that has transformed my business hugely, because I'm no longer thinking, oh my life, you know, are they going to pay me for that work I've already completed and delivered? Do I have to sort out, you know, like a 50% deposit here and then do this here? No, it's all simple. I like simple. All up front. This is simple. You do this or this options. Pay me up front and let's get started. Let's do the work. Okay. And none of my clients have ever objected to that. You know, they know exactly what they're getting. They're no longer thinking, well, I don't know how long that's going to take, so it could be really expensive or anything like that. It's actually helped to remove a lot of misunderstandings, because, as I say, they know exactly what they're getting. Okay. The next one I want to just quickly answer is, what free tips would I give aspiring virtual assistants starting their business? Oh, okay, I've just got to pick 3. The first one then is to not copy everybody else. Now, this might seem a bit of a weird tip, but when you first start out with your VA business, you'll do a lot of research. You'll find out about other virtual assistants in the industry, you know, what they're doing, what's their website look like, you know, how do they talk, things like that, which is great. It's great to do some research, that's fine. But don't think, oh, everybody else is doing this, I must do that. Be yourself. When you are creating your business and your brand and your marketing material and, you know, how you're going to present yourself at networking events, the key is to be authentic to you. What works with me, how I talk, might not necessarily work for you. Same as how Justine talks and how she talks about her business in her marketing material won't be the right fit for you. So, you know, make sure you are authentic and be yourself. And be yourself in your marketing materials. You know, don't be this faceless sort of organisation so that you appear really big. Put your personality into your business and you'll really attract the people that you want to work with. And it will be very attractive to clients. The second tip then would be to be smart about your networking events. You know, so what events you attend. This is a whole subject, we could go on and on about networking, but be clear about, you know, what type of groups, for example, suit you. Try them out and be smart about it. Pick 1 or 2 from each type of networking event in your area. So, you know, there might be one membership-based group in your area where they only have 1 person per category, so only 1 virtual assistant. But then also go to ones where it's mixed networking, that it's open to anybody to attend, you mingle, things like that. You know, maybe choose 1 or 2 of those to go to regularly, and then make use of online networking. So be smart. Don't think I've got to be doing it every day and going anywhere and everywhere. Think about what works for you, what times are best, what type of people are best for you, and, as I say, the actual event type. My third top tip would be to actually establish your target market as soon as possible. The sooner you sort out who you want to be working with, the easier your marketing will become. So instead of marketing and trying to be attractive to everybody, which is impossible, by honing in on that target market earlier, you're going to save a lot of time, energy and money by creating your marketing materials to speak to that group of people only. So establish your target market early on. And the last question really is, how do I think the VA industry will develop over the next few years? Well, I think it's going to continue to grow. The need for VAs is, stronger than ever. There's not too many. The marketplace is not saturated because there's plenty of business out there. But I think it's going to continue to become a household name, like the coaching industry, for example. So instead of when you're at networking events and you mention you're a virtual assistant, people are like, well, what's that? Never heard of that. It'll be a case of, oh, okay, and what services do you do? So it's going to become that household name. I also think that social media is going to get bigger as a service for you. So managing people's Facebook fan pages, for example, scheduling their Twitter updates, things like that. I think that is going to become more of a sort of an expected service offering for people instead of a specialty. And then finally, I think people are going to be wanting more technical services. So things like shopping cart management, newsletters, autoresponders, things like that, because people are making sure they've got multiple income streams in their business. So instead of just the services that they provide, they're also creating products. And I think those technical skills are going to be more in demand than ever. So that's the end of this interview. It's a bit of my story and answering some of the common questions that I get asked. As I said earlier, I'd recommend that you check out Justine's video to get her take on things, why she started and some of the top tips that she gives out. So check out the freebies page at vasuccessgroup.co.uk and then just click freebies on the main navigation bar at the top. Hope you've enjoyed it, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Take care. Bye.